What's going on, YouTube? So tonight I'm putting a No Limits Fab intake in on my truck. Got the GoPro headset set up. Gonna try that out. Got it hooked to my phone so I can see what it's doing. That way I can kind of show you guys a little better as far as what's going on actually here. You know, on my last couple videos I've had to, kind of do hit or miss stuff. So let me know how the audio sounds. I am gonna leave the big camera going. It's got a shotgun mic on it. You can kind of see it over there on the tripod. Maybe I'll split the screens. But like I said, put a new intake in. First thing we're gonna do, let me put this over here, that way I can make sure you guys can see what the hell I'm doing. Might have to make some adjustments here and there. First thing we're gonna do, unclip this hose, then we'll undo the hose clamp right here. Make minor adjustments here, bear with me. Undo this hose clamp here. We need to go ahead and undo the mass sensor. Just a little clip on the back side, and then it should release itself. Maybe. Yep, just like that. We'll set that to the side. Now that will actually come out and go into the new filter. Go ahead, open our filter housing. 4 clips, 2 on the front, 2 in the back if you're sitting on the hood like I am, and that just opens up. Here is the garbage of a factory Ford filter. Now this is 13,000 easy highway miles. Oh damn, that's a B. So you can see junk. So I will go ahead and keep all this stuff, just in case I trade the truck in, or if for whatever reason. So we'll just set that to the side. Now I will go get my handy dandy. I think these are 5/16 little hose clamps. I'll go grab one out of my toolbox. You guys get to see a little side trip over to the toolbox. Got that. 5/16, is that it? 3/8. Yeah, 5/16 looks right. Oh man. So as a side note, we just wife tried the Hello Fresh meal for dinner tonight. So, oh man, it's not that either. Maybe an 8mm. We'll try that. But we'll try an 8. For the backup, I'll take a flathead over there with me. Okay, so like I was saying about the meal, not bad. And it's not an 8mm either. So, got our flathead screwdriver. Go ahead and use that. I'm not going to make 37 trips back and forth to the toolbox. Go ahead and just loosen that dude off. And then this should pop right off. Kaboom! So there is the Ford. Oh my God! See, look at the restriction in here, man. What is that? Then you got this dumbass Ford reminder. I've never had one of these work. Now we do have to switch the mass airflow sensor. That's what this guy is. It comes with new hardware. We have to switch that over to the new intake. So I'm just going to set this over here. Now the old intake should just pop out. Maybe. Maybe not. Might need a little persuasion to come out. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got something hooked to it. Maybe not. Let's see what the hell it's hung up on. Woo! Ow! Just hit my knee on a tow hook. That hurt. Oh, we got some hardware over here. Those look like 8mm. Let me grab a extension. Man, this GoPro thing is a trip. It was actually, I bought this used from my father-in-law because I was kind of, I'm hoping to do this a lot more and more. So I'm kind of having fun doing it. So we took it out to the ATV park with us over spring break, and he left it, and I offered to buy it. Not really thinking he was going to take it, but he's like, yeah, sure, you can buy it. So now I own a GoPro. That's kind of how that works. So it does look like the mass airflow harness is attached to the back of this. Not very well. Maybe my favorite little pop zerts. I don't know if you guys can see that in here. I'll try to turn it. But it's just like a little clip. Oh, it's coming. There it is. Maybe. Maybe not. Come on. Look at our handy dandy flathead screwdriver. Pop this boy out. I know this is not the right tool. I do have panel tools, but I'm not going to go grab one. Yep, there it is. Yay! Oh, no. Okay. Ugh. So, because I don't want to lose this hardware, and I don't think the new intake does not require it, I'm going to go ahead and put them back into the factory holes. And then we'll just tighten them down. That way we do not lose them. Wow, those are actually tight. Interesting. Or getting tight. So, best place for them to go so they don't get lost. These two 8mm, that takes up. So this does kind of have like a cool ram air intake effect. You know, this at the bottom of the air box, there's these louvers down here. It actually comes in through the hood up here and then goes under the battery, gets sucked in right here. So, kind of neat. I think we have to take this rubber grommet off of the air box here because the new intake does attach to the rubber grommet. Oh, come on. Oh, nope, maybe. No. It's coming. Someday. Woo! There it is. Woohoo! We got it. Okie dokie. So we got that. We still got our grommet. Go ahead and put it back in the hole here for the grommet where that one came out. Because, like I said, I'm pretty sure the new intake does use it. So now look at all this space now, man. Holy crap. So much more room for activities. That is a horrible reference to Step Brothers, and if you haven't seen it, then shame on you. So, what I'm not going to do on this truck, but I did do on my dually a couple trucks ago, this is the factory EGR. Big old nasty bastard thing. I deleted it on my 2013 dually. And it opens this engine bay up just so much because you get rid of all these pipes, this gigantic hunk of aluminum, and just it's amazing how much it opens it up. But now I will say something that's kind of weird. This is the first truck I haven't put an S&B dry filter air intake on. My 2014 Dodge 4th gen had an S&B. My 2006 Ford F250 6.0, didn't have that truck very long. That's another story. It had a S&B as well. And then my 2013 Ford F350 dually had an S&B as well. And so all of them worked great. Now, whether or not I actually saw any miles gain, I don't know. You know, I kind of keep my foot in it all the time. So, you know, miles gained is not really achieved. I'm more like hearing it under the hood. So let's go grab the new intake. Over here, field trip. So here it is, in all its amazingness. So it just kind of sits in there like that. Massive. Now I did go with the black powder coated pipe just because I think it looks a lot better. You don't have to. My buddy is I got a buddy that works at a diesel shop. He's the one that really recommended the no limits over the S&B for this particular truck. He said that I can easily expect to see like a 1 to 2 mile per gallon gain with this setup. So I figured, what the heck. Now I am going to put on a pre-filter, which is basically just like a filter sock goes over the dry filter. So, but he didn't have any in stock when I picked this up today. So now, one thing I will say to all Ford owners, if you're thinking about putting a cold air intake on your truck, make sure it is a dry filter. If you go with a oiled filter, it actually gums up the mass airflow sensor and does not work properly. It basically ruins the sensors, or the mass airflow sensor, and doesn't allow it to work properly. What in the world? We got some slippage going on here. Oh man, that's not bueno. That's not good. Maybe I'm doing this backwards. So part of the reason I wanted to do this video is because this filter, or this kit, does not come with any instructions. So that is my reasoning. So go ahead and pop this dude off. It's got a nice little no limits decal going there. So we'll set this on the motor for now, just so it's out of the way. I'm gonna go grab the hardware that I need, or the tools. So like I said, it does come with the new hardware to remount the mass airflow sensor. Just make sure these are small enough that I'll definitely lose them. It's like two little Allen bolts. I'll flip it over here now. Now these are the band clamps for the boot to go onto the intake. So I don't know about you, but that looks like 7/16. I'm no expert. Let's go grab a 7/16 socket, and then hopefully one for the band clamp on the filter. So in case you guys didn't hear that, again, I'm not sure how good the audio is on the GoPro, so I'm trying to say it into the camera mic. 8mm for the hose clamp on the filter. So we'll just set this to the side right now. Now I know I still need to move the mass airflow, but I want to get this big boot attached first. So now it does, like I said, has fancy no limit. Let's go ahead and put that facing outward. Oh man, that's a beast. So kind of pushes it on. I'm gonna guess it kind of sits like that so you can read the no limit. Tons of fun stuff. Now as far as this going on, this is going to be interesting, because we're gonna have to bend this band a little. We'll kind of try to squish it a little. Yeah, squish. We're trying to squish. I'm not sure what's going to be the easiest way to work this dude on. Sort of just kind of finagling it. Although, hey, look, it's actually going pretty easy. Yeah, it's just about, I think right about there is where we want it, actually. And you want to make sure when you're putting these bands on, you check all the way around it. You don't want to have it jump off on the bottom. You can kind of see back here in the corner how it's sliding back. So now I'm not going to tighten this down completely yet. I'm just going to snug it up. I don't want to tighten it up all the way, so that way if I need to, I can rotate this whole assembly into position. So that looks about right where the no limits, where you can see it. So let's go ahead and swap out the mass airflow before I get too far. So those look like wonderful Torx bits. So we need to go back to the toolbox. I'm going to get this maybe a T10. Heading on back to the truck. So we got a Wasn't a T10, it was actually a T20 Torx. I hate Torx, they're a pain in the butt. So go ahead and zip this guy out. Now you want to make sure that you're careful when you take this out because the sensors on here are very delicate. You want to make sure not to bend them or anything. So be careful. I guess they're a little different. That's not too hard to mess up. Now you want to remember the flow. So your air is coming in through here, through this port here, and then that's how it's processing it. So you want to make sure you match that flow in. So now we're done with the factory. Well, not done. I'm going to put the hardware back in, and then that way I don't lose it. Again, you know, I'm retaining all the factory hardware. That way, if I ever have to reinstall this for any reason, I can. So now we'll throw that with the rest of the factory junk. Tons of junk. Now we can go ahead and install the mass airflow into the no limits intake. Now they are nice enough to also give you this dummy proof flow arrow. So just out of curiosity, I do want to see. Okay, so it'll bolt up that way, but oh hey, sweet, it actually will not bolt up in reverse. So that's kind of cool, a little reassuring. So go ahead and put this guy back in. And I don't know if you guys heard my phone go off a second ago. That was the old wife probably telling me to get back inside or something. So go ahead and tighten this stuff down. By the way, we got the Monster light at the rescue again. It's the Monster hood light. Thing works really, really well. I mean, you can see it's lit up the whole engine bay. So you don't want to go too crazy on the mass airflow bolts. You want to tighten them down and then, you know, snug them up. I mean, this thing is just kind of plastic and a very little bit of metal, not much to it. So we'll go ahead and give it like maybe, you know, couple little turns. Go ahead and put this band clamp on before we put the intake in. Now, what I was saying about the, oh no, I think the GoPro just died. Yeah, I think it did. No, it's still recording. Huh, I wonder if we lost our connection. Oh well. Keep on keeping on. Either way, if it's not recording, we'll look at it. This is the hole where it goes into the factory grommet down here. So I'm hoping the GoPro didn't lose connection, but we'll figure it out. Huh, that's weird. It's frozen. So that goes down in there and hooks up into here. Boy. Stab that dude in there. Make sure that's tight. Straighten that guy up. And now, before I forget, reconnect the mass airflow. Should clip back on, and then make sure you get the lock back on as well. Now we got that. Tighten this boy down. Nice and snug. Now you want to make sure when you're tightening this band clamp down on the intake going into the boot, you don't have this nut pointing up. If you have that pointing up, it might contact your hood. So now we'll go ahead and tighten up the back one as well. So now it's tight. Good and tight. I'm just going to check around it, make sure that it's seated on everything. Now, seeing where this hose is sitting on this thread, I'll probably go back and put something between there. Maybe put a little piece of hose or something on this thread, just so if this hose chafes at all, it doesn't, you know, put a hole in it. You know, that'd be really messed up. So I think that's a coolant line. I really don't want to be stuck on the side of the road with you know, a little pinhole in the coolant. Go ahead and put the filter on. That thing just barely fits in there. Dang. Switch over back to that 8mm. Well, that's not good. It slipped the clamp. This thing's trying to pop off of the filter. Huh. Shouldn't be any trimming or anything required. But we're contacting the mass airflow port. I wonder, that's kind of shady. Oh, I think the GoPro, no, it hasn't died. We'll turn it off. What's that? Oh yeah, the GoPro is just about dead. So we'll go ahead and turn the GoPro off. Oh, well, I guess it's not going to turn off. Come on. Come on. Maybe not. Huh. Well, I'm still learning the GoPro, so it's not wanting to shut off. See, the screen is still displayed. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, whatever. It's dead. So we'll just set that to the side for now. It's acting like it's off. It's just still blinking. So I'll put my phone up. Okie dokie. So now that you guys can't hardly see, I went ahead and put the air filter on. We got this tightened down. We got it tightened down back here. But now I'm having an issue where the band clamp on the air filter is wanting to slip. So this garbage. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, that's kind of janky. So to get the air filter to tighten down and I guess not hit anything, I actually had to slip the filter over the edge of the filter on over the mass airflow ridge. So that's kind of hokey. I might send a picture to my buddy and see what he thinks about that, because we are touching the fuse box back here. So, but I mean, this is a monster of a filter to begin with. So, you know what, I wonder, out of curiosity, I'm going to try to loosen this band clamp and see if maybe if we don't push the hose in a little farther into the boot, if it doesn't turn it. Not really. Didn't really get any turning. Make sure, double check everything's tight. Mass airflow sensors hooked back up. I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple zip ties, or a zip tie for the mass airflow sensor wiring. That way we can secure it out of the way. Zip tie, mass airflow harness. That way we can just keep it away from the hot stuff. And then a little piece of fuel line just to go over the hardware over here. That way nothing's rubbing. Oi. So, gonna try to move the camera now so that way you guys can see the total install. Seeing how the GoPro died. So. Here we go. We got big boot. Sorry, I'm looking here kind of funky. Got the boot. Got our two bands. Got the back band, a little piece of fuel line to protect the threads. Massive intake, big filter. Zip tie holding the mass airflow sensor wiring up. And then reconnect the mass airflow. The filter is touching the back of the fuse box, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. I'll definitely check on it. So I'm going to go ahead and fire it up, see how it sounds. See what you guys think. We'll go ahead and leave the mic running just so you can hear it. So there you go. That definitely sounds a lot better than it did. Yeah. Oh, close up. So that's it, guys. No Limits Fab cold air intake. That is the Pro Guard dry filter, the black powder coated elbow, and then just the regular boot. Now it does come with a big sticker. I'll probably just put it on my door along with the rest of the stickers. So that's it. Now I will do an update video after a couple of tanks of fuel to see what the actual mile per gallon gain was. I'm hoping at least to get 1 to 2. You know, I towed a big trailer out this weekend for spring break, and I was getting like 8.5 miles a gallon. So that's just pathetic because I used to get in my Dodge, I think it was like 14 with the same trailer, so almost double. So we'll see how it does. Hopefully the GoPro footage turns out well and I can make this a good video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And again, if you guys have any ideas of videos you want to see, you know, maybe how-tos or specific things, you know, definitely put them in the comments below, and I'll try to put a link in for this intake. It might not be the exact one, but it'll be pretty close. So thanks and have a good one.